Welcome to EnergizeUtv. This is a space for conscious conversation, grounded leadership, and embodied truth. I'm Angel Marie. Each episode delivers fresh perspectives, expert insight, and actionable strategies to help viewers elevate their energy, expand their potential, and live with greater purpose and vitality. This is not just a TV episode, it is a movement to awaken the world, raise collective consciousness, and inspire positive change.
Welcome back to EnergizeUtv, where energy meets modern life. I'm Angel Marie, your activation catalyst. What if the greatest drain on your focus is not distraction, yet misdirected perception? Every time I arrive here at the Wrigley Mansion, I'm reminded how perception shapes experience. And the thing is of Mr. Wrigley's 35 homes that he owns, that he had, this was the smallest one he had. And it's like almost 17,000 square foot. There's like 24 bedrooms, and I think there was like 11 the fireplaces, and like 24 rooms. And it's the smallest one. I just have to say that because it's so, but you know what? It carries undeniable presence to it. And this also is where juicy fruit became the first flavor of chewing gum. Did you know that? A simple idea that changed the entire industry. It did. And what lives here is not the size or the scale. It's the intention. And that is what reminds us today. When perception is clear, focus sharpens. And even the smallest choice can unlock extraordinary potential. And I love that. You're listening to this, think about that word, extraordinary potential, because that's what you really are. And I want to thank Prosperity Media Network for producing and distributing EnergizeUtv and for amplifying the conversation that reaches audiences around the world. Because today we're going to explore focus with our guest, Nicole Fonovich. This week's conversation is Ignite Focus, Increase Your Potential. Now, Nicole brings a powerful blend of leadership, education, and system thinking, working at the intersection of strategy, human performance, and holistic leadership to help individuals and organizations operate at their highest potential. She is a master at this, and she has created a wonderful wellness for corporations, small and big, to entrepreneurs, to healthcare. I could go on and on. It's just amazing what she has done. I can't wait for you to listen, because her conversation is grounded in something, that's just really important right now. And it was really a big buzzword right now to get out there. But before we do that, I want to ground us in something essential, which is energy. Because energy is the foundation of everything, and everybody's talking about it. And energy cannot be created or destroyed. Einstein said this, and I quote, but it can only be what? Change the form of it. And that's what I've been teaching for almost 30 years, because everything is energy. And any energy is always what? Moving. And it's always connected. And if you can see it or you can't, right? We got energy. You feel energy when you walk in a room and you go, ooh, I feel kind of like a heaviness. That's energy. Or you're hanging out with somebody and they're really scattered. What you feel is maybe drained when you leave, and you go, why do I feel so drained? That's energy, because energy is in motion all the time. That's your biofield, and your biofield's around you. It's all around you. And I always talk about the field. I talk about the energy of the echo field, the quantum field, always talking about field. So what is that? It's your personal energy, yes, around you, because your energy and the body is electrical, and it comes from your heart, your brain, and the whole nervous system. And it's always doing what? It's always generated information that extends beyond your skin, the biofield, and into the space around you. But did you know, this is so cool, that your brain, that your heart is an electromagnetic field. We said that. But it is 5 times greater, 5,000 times greater than your brain. So that's what I say is, What you think about, you bring about, because you think about it, I'm going to have a bad day. And what happens? You start having a bad day because your emotions from the heart connect to that. But when you say, hey, everything is easy today and it's going to be an easy, great day, what is the universe going to give you? Because that energy comes from the heart, which is 5,000 greater than the brain. So I want you to say it with me. Everything in life is easy. Say it again. Everything in life is easy. Life is easy. Everything is easy. I'm going to go do the laundry and it's easy. Whatever that is. I love this. Thank you for playing with me. And you know what? I'm going to take a quote from the Shine On book. And it's maintain a positive perception about yourself and you will have limitless possibilities in your life. That is perception number 1, chapter 1. Why? Well, if it's 52 secrets for greater success in self-esteem, I want to start with perception because everything is about perception, isn't it? So perception is the lens through which focus is formed. What if you believed about yourself determines what you notice, what you filter out, and what your energy naturally goes with? So this quote is very simple because it doesn't want to fix you, it doesn't want to prove anything. It asks you to do what? Choose how you see yourself. Because when you shift and focus will follow. This is powerful because perception, what? Is slightly set, all right? Sets the ceiling, sets the tone and the potential on what you're doing. So when you are aligned with this self-perception, focus can become in. Possibilities expand through, not through effort, yet through what? Oh, clarity. And we talked about clarity last week and how important clarity is. So it goes right in line. Perception is not just a thought pattern. It is an energetic state. Before you focus on a task or decision, your energy has already made a judgment. Yeah. And that judgment determines whether the focus feels what? Open or strained or heavy. Because if you go into something and you go, I don't really want to do that. Oh man, what's going on? And you're kind of like, well, your perception, everything stops. So we don't want you to be fragmented because that's what happens. Because you might be overthinking or hesitant about it. We don't want that. Because we want your perception and your focus to become and help you with your clarity. And this matters to you and you leaders. Because when perception is reactive, focus is pulled outward by what? The urgency of what's going on, the noise, and whatever that is. And we want you to be what? Right here, when perception is intentional, focus becomes selective. And that selective focus is what allows your potential to be compound. So ask yourself a question. And this question is, what perception am I operating from right now? Take a moment. And then it's exactly what we're going to explore today. Igniting focus by refining perception. So potential is no longer chased, it is revealed. And also I want to thank you, the listeners, the viewers, for being here today because I see you and I celebrate you. And I thank you for being here. Welcome, Nicole Fonovich. I'm so excited that you're with me today. I've known you for years, so please introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, I'm a mom, first and foremost. I'm an entrepreneur, a traveler, musician, author, and very excited to be here today at the Wrigley Mansion with you.
How did you feel driving up to this place?
Oh my God, first the mountains. Of course, that just stole my heart. And then you set eyes on this beautiful house nestled on this hill. It's gorgeous on this beautiful day in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, whoa.
Blessed to live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be here with you today. You know, I can't believe actually that all these years later, I'm sitting across from the table with you. In the line of work that I am doing, because you were my first introduction over 10 years ago to this field, if you could believe it. I've always been in the corporate field, but where I meshed corporate and wellness is really thanks to you. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm honored for that, because knowing what you do, and I can't wait to tell you what she is doing, is it's revolutionary in what you're doing. But so thank you very much. And yes, it was an honor way back then to be able to do that. So, but yet I'm going to jump right in, because today we're talking about that focus and how to do that focus, and then how we become and step into our wellness also. So, there's a lot of things going on right now with energy, as I talked about earlier, but there's such a need now than ever for corporate wellness. And the corporations are seeking this more and more.
Yeah. Actually, burnout is a crisis here in America. And a really good question to ask ourselves is it deregulated, unregulated stress? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're suffering from here?
Well, and that's absolutely, because the burnout that most companies are going through, and it's really interesting, because if burnout were a company policy, most workplaces would win the Employee of the Year award now, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Taking care of ourselves seems to be the least of our priorities, when it should be the most important thing we do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And burnout is not a personal failure. It is a system without recovery. And I like that one, because in 2012, they did a research out of Harvard University, and that was led by this man, Dr. Herman Benson, and that found out that the regular meditation and relaxation practices reduce the stress, improve focus, and lower burnout and the beauty of the professionals. So, and that's what we need, is that. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Our bodies have everything already inside of us, and we just needed the key to unlock it. Yes. And I truly feel that going within, finding that stillness, regulating our breath, which is our barometer to our nervous system, is our way to really tap into managing our stress.
So you recommend that we do this, right? I mean, this is a big thing. Yes.
I've spent the last decade advocating that this is really a way to fully support ourselves holistically.
Yes. And I call you a corporate wellness builder. And why is that? Because you built a corporate wellness solution for the groups to ground up, from the ground up. Because I've known you for this long, and you've built this from the ground up. You created a comprehensive wellness research list, and you deliver it directly to the corporations that says, hey, here we go. You can do it to the hotels, the resorts, and the healthcare system, schools, and the executive teams. Tell us a little bit about that and where that came from and why. Because I know, you had 7 surgeries?
Just on my back.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a lifetime learner of yoga. It has always been my go-to for when PT finished. I could utilize yoga to help me fully recover and still keep it in my life. I was a gymnast growing up, so this seemed like
me too.
Natural.
Yeah.
Right? Nadia Comaneci was my favorite. She was my star. However, as I got older, I always kept coming back to yoga. Learning to find the stillness practices have been even more profound in managing any chronic pain as it relates to my back condition, degenerative disc disease. Mm-hmm. However, building this team has been something that I just naturally, my way of giving back, curated a bunch of holistic healers who have, over the course of 9 years, cultivated over 90 services, one of which you are offering on our team. I'm so excited. Not only in the corporate sector, but hospitals. We do virtual work across the United States, globally. Our ability to help people in the holistic wellness has increased exponentially as a result of us pairing together and not having a brick and mortar.
So basically what's happening is, and this is where I say that you're this builder of this, the corporate wellness builder, because you have created a way to have all of the facilitators, the practitioners, from like yoga to water to even the speakers to trainers to even me coming on as the event energy conductor and to hold space for events. You have like all of this, but you have it all in one place. And I really want people to get this, because even entrepreneurs, mama bears, papa bears, whatever you're doing, you might be in a place where you go, well, you know what, I need someone to help me. And the thing is you have vetted these people. And that's the thing. They all have insurance. And I really want people to get this, because usually only one trusted ecosystem organization can access these CEOs, these corporations, healthcare, all of these. They can access this.
Yes.
And it's not just woo meditation and, you know, I teach Tai Chi. I'm going to be on there too. But yet it's not that.
No.
There's other that really help with what we're talking about is focus,
right.
is not having that burnout.
Right, right. Corporate coaching is a perfect example, right? Having had 12 years in the corporate sector and now crossing over into this, I'm able to advocate, of course, how these services really support wellness in the corporate sector, right? So it's being able to really speak both languages. However, what's beautiful is these services, they support a variety of different things, not only in a company in which the employees are having an unusual amount of sick days or needing time off of work, having a lot of family things happening. This allows them to bring health right into that space rather than carving out additional time after work or before work to go into a health club, adding more time onto their day, right? So bringing it directly to them, either virtually or in person, has been huge.
This is wonderful, because even virtually you can bring this and you can make a difference. I love this. So give me an example of maybe a corporation that you went into and you could tell that the whole, like, you had a lot of burnout, you have a lot, and then just a couple of your different ones that you brought in. You don't have to go into them, but then what happened and how did you see that culture change?
Well, what I do notice, we have a regular ongoing program here where it's hybrid. We meet with the employees regularly at the headquarters, and then our programs are streamed virtually. And initially, they were very trepidatious on having us come in and what the class was going to involve and how it was going to play out. And then, of course, as time went on, now they're asking for it to come regularly into their workspace. They're opening up to things like sound healing.
Whoa.
Yes, and they wanted dance classes as a way to bring their employees together.
Wow.
Right? So it's expanding into a variety of the different corporate workshops that we bring directly in, not just yoga, which is really the thing that people are most willing to try right off the bat. They've heard of it, it's mainstream. However, once that door gets opened and they've seen the benefits of that practice, they're more apt and willing to try other things. We have had extensive surveys of programs that we've done, and we've seen reduction of a lot of things like anxiety, specifically sadness, right? So those are the things that's impacting greatly.
And what it impacts is the retention. They don't have as many sick days. They're not calling in because they're having, and they know. And I really believe that one of the biggest points here is that they really enjoy looking forward.
Here we go.
They have something to look forward to instead of I'm going to work, going to work, going to work.
They're bringing their yoga mat. They're talking about it around the cooler, right? Because they're expanding around that as a team building way to bring in health, positive experience in the workspace.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we're really seeing, and of course, feelings of happiness are increased. Feelings of euphoria. These are amazing in the workspace.
It is, and the big thing too is the value that now they place on themselves, because they're with 3 or 4 of their colleagues, 10 of their colleagues, they're all going through it. They feel valued, they feel part of a team. Now, this also works with the entrepreneurs, but let's talk about individuals. Individuals that might need, not just necessarily, because you're reaching the CEOs, the leaders, the teams, the institutes, and you make a wellness accessible and organizations actionable for both the large and the small. And I know that, but yet most people, they kind of have that burnout isn't a badge honor. It's a nervous system begging for that regulation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, the nice part is we offer a free customized consultation and offer what holistic solutions are available for them, depending on what it is that they're needing or their goal is. So this way they don't have to come and pick from a menu of like, what is going to work best for me? I'm exhibiting anxiety, right? And because an individual who hasn't been schooled in all of these things may not know what might work best for them. And the best part is different modalities work for different people at different times. And so just because something doesn't work right now doesn't mean in 5 years down the line you can't revisit it and it might be perfect at that moment. So that's what I think I've learned in my entire journey. They're all beautiful practices that have been thousands of years old, actually, that we're now just reintroducing back into the Western world and into the workspace, which is where the stress is the most. That's the population that's being crushed. And so that's, of course, where we feel it's needed.
Yeah. And what would you say for a CEO that he's looking out and he's like, wow, everybody's doing okay, but we could do better. We could do better. What are maybe 2 or 3 signs, maybe one sign that it's like, I think we need to bring in a corporate wellness and bring something into my corporation? What would be 1 or 2 signs to give them right now?
Well, if they're noticing, especially at meetings, just taking a glance around, seeing the energy, seeing the camaraderie between the group, seeing if there's smiles on people's faces. Body language says a lot, right? So you could read how your workforce is doing by really connecting with them and seeing where they are at. Because the more happy, right, and full your workforce is, the more thriving your business is going to be. So
it's really, it's like reading the room, but many corporations, many CEOs, they're not going to be able to get that. Or how do I really, I think what you said, and I want to reiterate, because this is the important part, is that if you're looking out and everybody wants to get on their phone, everybody's spacing out, there's no smiles, there's nobody really talking to each other when you walk into the room, you will know this is time that I need to bring my team together. And your team is the employees. It's not just the CEOs or the upper management, even though I really believe the upper management needs it first.
Yeah.
And that's why you do have corporate trainers and that come in and teach, as I do, is go in and teach them about energy and how to bring the employees in.
Yeah, life coaching, simple life coaching, putting the key elements of their life into balance. But from a tangible standpoint, like a lot of sick days, right?
Yeah,
the company not doing as well as it's been doing previously, right? Health insurance costs, seeing how, right, how many mental health days people are taking. If you assess this from quarter to quarter, you might be able to see some identifiable changes happening.
Right? Beautiful. Yes, for sure. I love that. You know, corporate wellness isn't about yoga mats and break rooms. It's about teaching people how to come back to themselves when they're under pressure. So true?
So true.
And many people do look at it's the yoga thing. It isn't. There's so much more that you can do and bring into any environment. And this is even entrepreneurs. You need to make sure, because even with this that you're giving with these lists, there's people that do energy work. There's people that go and do massages, yes. but really like deeper stuff that you can experience. And that's what I always say. I really challenge each and every one of you to get an energy clearing, get an energy healing session. And what the big thing is now is Reiki. It's really out there. So people are hearing it.
That's what first opened up my eyes to this world. I was thinking to myself, why aren't I getting a massage? And then boom. And I was changed forever. So
And then you called me.
I'm so full of gratitude. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I have the goosebumps.
She's got goosebumps. Yeah, and I do too, because I've been doing this for over 30 years. But to be able to be here now and be able to get the word out, and then the podcast and the TV show about how to do this, and interviewing people that are making that choices and making the difference, it just really feels and hits my soul. So I really appreciate it. And what we just talked about was about, it's not about yoga mats. And I really like this study, and it was a research found that, and it was 2022, the majority of executives now rank employees' well-being as top organizational priority, direct tied to performance, retention, and long-term stability. Companies report that corporate wellness strategy are no longer optional, yet essential for productivity, engagement, and comprehensive advancement. Please talk about that. I mean, that study alone.
Yeah, you can't have a sustainable business with deregulated leaders.
There you go. And that's the biggest one, because when those leaders are, what are they doing? That energy just goes down and down and just trickles all the way down.
Correct.
So it's time for, no matter how big your company is, even if you're an entrepreneur, that is one thing with me. I have 6 people on my staff. And all 6 of them get regular energy. We talk about what they're doing. If they're not being able because they don't have time, we need to look at their time. And I'm there to say, well, then we need to take that off your plate, because you need, and I don't tell people, but yet you get to take the time. And if that's meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, it doesn't matter what it is, but there's something that will resonate with you that you need to take care of every day.
Yeah. Funny, on our admin task, the first thing is self-care for them. So that's also empowerment, right? Mm-hmm. What do I need to care for myself today to be able to show up for myself?
Yeah. Resilient employees aren't the ones who push through pain. They're not. You've probably seen this before. They're the ones who know how to reset. People aren't going to understand what that reset, what do they mean by that?
Resetting, your breath is your barometer. Being one of the most important things in life, the first thing you do when you're born and the last thing you do before transitioning, the breath is your barometer, right? So when it is sped up or fast-paced, it is an indication your nervous system is irregulated. So that's our first clue into that.
And I love that, because when we really look at resetting, we're resetting the nervous system. And a lot of things are talked about now about the nervous system. And I think most people are starting to get that. And you can see that in employees when things are going around and they're the only ones that are just like, they're on project, they're on task. Those are the ones that know how to do this. And I just want to say that because I want leaders. And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or what, it doesn't matter what small or big company, to recognize those leaders.
Yeah, chronic stress is really something that's built up over a period of time. And unfortunately, when we go to sleep at night, it doesn't always reset our nervous system entirely.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where these practices could help expand the reset, so to speak, right? You get more hours of rest and relaxation when you're leveraging Eastern practices into your Western world.
Yes. So, and I think a big thing, what you just said, was sleep.
Correct.
And I want everyone to hear this about sleep. Go ahead.
So really, most of the people in this country are sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Right.
And studies show that.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And whether we are not sleeping fully at night, we have stress weighing on us, the amount of sleep that's shown that we need to reset isn't really fully obtained. And so when we wake up in the morning and our gas tank is not on full, it's already on medium or like low medium, it's very difficult to ever get back to a full tank. And
because I'm going to interrupt, but isn't it true that your body actually remembers that you didn't get enough sleep? Because people say they go on vacation and they sleep the whole time. They're like, man, but it's because you haven't slept for months.
Yeah. Or that's saying I'll sleep when I die.
Oh, that's the worst, the worst. So interesting. But I mean, we have to talk about the sleep because it's so general, but you know, we just don't really get that it's so vital. And I'm a 6-hour girl.
Yeah.
And you might be a 5-hour. You might be an 8-hour.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Absolutely. However, it ranks high up there with nutrition and exercise. Sleep is a huge component of your overall health. So if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, you are not truly doing yourself a service. You're not putting yourself first. You are not being the priority.
Let's just take a moment for that. And to remember that the priority is you, because you cannot show up, and that's leaders to anyone. And, you know, this is the important part of all of what we're doing with the self-care, which is the hottest thing going right now.
It's a hot topic, right? Especially New Year's comes along and people get on the bandwagon and then they slip. But this is a lifelong practice.
I tell my students that all the time. It's not like something you do just for a little while and then you don't. And I really believe too is taking the time to go on a retreat. And I know that you do some retreats. And because I know one of them I want to go to. Where was it?
It's an international retreat in Bali.
In Bali, that's what I'm going to go to that one. I can't
in May.
wait. Yeah.
We have 2 spots still available. So if you want to come, 2 spots. However, it's in Ubud, the most spiritual area.
Say it slower.
Ubud.
Ubud.
Okay. U-B-U-D.
Okay.
And it's in the jungle in Indonesia, and it's nestled. The retreat facility is nestled on 700 acres of rice fields. It has its own organic farm attached to it.
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Keep going. Keep going. Oh my God.
We're having the most amazing yoga instructors teaching yoga there, and
all the other stuff.
All the other stuff.
Yes,
oh yeah, we'll be bathing under waterfalls and going to temples and that.
Sorry, I just want to say to everyone too, you know, you listeners and viewers, you know, I love you so much. And I always remind you to take those breaths, drink more water. Every day on Facebook and Instagram, I tell you I love you, and to do that. And I want you to think about, where's your retreat for you? And when are you going to take the time for you? And yes, I know when there's Christmas and Thanksgiving, we do the thing where we go to the family and all that, but what is that once a year that you go? And maybe you don't go with your partner, your husband, or your wife. It doesn't matter. But what is it for you? And I want you to think about, there's a lot of retreats out there. And I just want to say kudos to you, Nicole, because not only are you helping with the employees, you're helping with humanity in what you do. Because this is real. We're going to have corporations, and they're going to work them 40 hours a week, which we're the only country, right, that actually works this much.
Minimally.
Yeah. So thank you, because the retreats help, and then also the rest. So I just see this as taking a lot of the pressures, and you know, there's so many researches that have gone out, like the University of California in San Francisco came out with the breath work and mindfulness that really helped the emotional and retention in corporations, and because they are under high pressure. And a lot of them are at high pressure when they get home. They're taking care of their elders. They're taking care of their parents. They might be with the kids.
Yeah. And we never learned these skills in school.
Boom.
That's the piece.
Yeah, see, that is the big one. That's the writer downer. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the mic drop. We never, and especially my generation.
Right.
My generation never learned any of that.
No.
We were just considered lazy, but it wasn't. We were just under so much stress, we couldn't do anything. I love this conversation. Yeah, totally paralyzed in all ways.
Yeah.
You know, this has been an amazing conversation about how we connect with our employees. And like I said, I still believe that you are like the builder. And because I've never heard of anyone else doing this, and you're helping so many to connect, and they need that right now. So thank you so much for being here, Nicole. And what is your free gift?
Ooh, I have a special meditation for stress and anxiety. So I'm so excited to share that with everybody. Please receive that and give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from all the experiences.
Fabulous. That is fabulous. And you know what? Right now, right here is her contact information. So reach out to her. There's so many beautiful gifts she offers, and don't leave without her free gift right here. So scan that QR code and you will receive it. And, you know, as we wrap up right now, do you have any final words you'd like to leave for everyone?
Putting yourself first, the investment that you make in yourself is the best one that you could possibly make. That's really it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. And you know, it was a beautiful time with Nicole, and I'm so excited that got to happen, and to learn so much from her. And if you would like to experience more beyond today's show, I would love for you to give you a membership of the Energy Reset Session. These are gentle Tai Chi inspired movements designed to help you to feel calm, feel grounded. So just scan the QR code, get online with me every Monday and Wednesday, and I can't wait to see you. And if you would like to even go deeper, these books hold the foundation of my teaching. You can experience here that you've been experiencing here on EnergizeUtv, and they are available to you, and I will personally sign them if you go to that website. So you know what? Next week, we're so excited. We're going to go into a deep dive with Shantoya Thompson, and she's going to join us to explore the perceptions, and from vision to velocity, making big ideas sustainable. Let me tell you, she's fun. You don't want to miss this one. And you know what? Here she is right now in her spotlight moment.
Hi, beautiful souls. I'm Shantoya Nicole Thomas, founder of Shantoya Nicole LLC and visionary of Brighter View Life Enrichment Centers, where our mission is to create inclusive spaces for growth, independence, wellness, and purpose for individuals with developmental disabilities and families. I'm so honored to be featured on EnergizeUtv. Angel Marie, thank you for being such a radiant beacon of light. My golden nugget is this: healing is the work, and your energy is your first strategy. Before the plan, before the next move, before the leadership call, check your energy, protect your peace, and move in alignment. Whether you're on a healing journey, building a vision, or leading others, remember, your energy matters. Your voice matters, and you are not alone. Let's rise, shine, and align together.
Fabulous. Didn't you enjoy that? You know what? You're not alone, and your energy really does matter. Thank you, Shantoya, for that. So mark your calendar for next week. You're going to love this conversation. And remember, your energy is the music of your life. So keep it tuned, keep it flowing, and keep it shining bright. I'll be right here every Thursday, bringing you wisdom, energy, and golden nuggets to lift you higher and higher. Because this show is not just a show, it's a movement, it's a global impact. Until I get to see you next time, keep igniting your energy, activating your joy, and always elevating your abundance. See you next time.
Before you go, take a moment and ask yourself one simple question. What am I taking with me from this conversation? I'm Angel Marie, and this is EnergizeUtv, where we help you live with greater purpose and vitality.